I've been watching a lot of videos from this YouTuber. He's actually my age, so it's one of the reasons why I've been watching him. He's like exactly my age, 5 months younger than me. His name is Raymond Thoughts and Mind. Highly would recommend you guys check him out. I don't agree with all of his perspectives as far as like philosophy in life, but when it comes to like the physical world, I think he's like spot on a lot of things, and I really have benefited from his financial inquiries and real estate advice, stuff like that. So yeah, highly recommend checking him out. I'm giving him a complete shout out. But he made a good point about millennials having like no money the other day, which is essentially true. Millennials, we're all in our mid to late 30s, early 40s now. He pointed up that the oldest millennial right now is 44, which tracks. I believe the millennial generation goes from 1981 to about 1996. But yeah, millennials, we're aging. We're aging rapidly is what it seems like. And he was talking about how Gen X kind of like freaked out when they turned 50. And I don't know. Aging for me, I've talked about it in my birthday video. Aging for me kind of stopped being stressful about the time I turned 30. And now you guys can see, like, I don't know if you can, I'm kind of graying. I'm not balding, that's one nice thing, but I am kind of graying. And it just is what it is, guys. It is what it is. You get the hair in your ears, you know, your nose hairs start to get a little bit longer, your ears and your nose get a little bit more droopy. I can definitely see it in my eyes, you know, that I'm getting older. But that's not the point of this video, aging. The point of this video is that none of us have money. And the video that really motivated me to make this is he made a video called, which I'll link down below. He made a video called Life Sucks and Then You Die, which again, he's going the Aaron Clary manosphere kind of way. Not, I wouldn't say manosphere, because he kind of agrees with me that the manosphere's cringe, but I'm talking about more of like the Nietzschean, I guess you could say. I'm coming at it more from like a Christian perspective, and it seems like he's coming at it more from like a Nietzschean perspective. But it doesn't mean he's wrong. Life does suck and then you die. That actually is a fact. But I guess it just depends on how you view the sucking of life. And so, yeah, the thing I wanted to talk about in this video is just kind of like how you live, because he's kind of done it in his own way, but I've probably done it in a more shameful way, you could say, of how to live to where you're not like a debt slave and you're not just like a wage slave constantly, which I'm still trying to get a 9-to-5, but that's more for the future. I'm going to be the next job I get, I'm going to be seriously socking away money, and then I want to do this. Hopefully this YouTube channel, you know, bears some fruit at some point. You know, I kind of blew it in a way. I could have kept covering the Eagles and it would have eventually bore fruit, which I still will be covering the Eagles in you know, the season. But I don't know how this will work. I'm kind of doing like a split niche on this channel now, in the weirdest possible way. I'm doing, you know, entertainment product, which is football, and then I'm doing like philosophical, political type stuff. So it's kind of a split niche, but I think we're entering that world. I actually think that with the boomer regime, you know, kind of fading out, we are entering the world where we can kind of like blend these realities more and more. But that's beside the point. I don't know what I'm going to end up titling this video. I haven't decided yet, because like I was really struggling for something to even talk about today. But yeah, it just got me thinking, like, how, as a millennial, in a way, we kind of have to embrace the suck. And I think Zoomers are going to have to do this as well. It's not as bad as you guys think either. Like, you can still buy a house. You can still get a lot of the things in life. You just have to really start thinking outside the box. And this Raymond guy has actually helped me quite a bit in that as well. Like, where, you know, it never even occurred to me that's like, maybe you just go buy like a house that's kind of crappy, and then you fix it up and you only pay like $120,000, and then also you move, right? A big reason why I'm even still in Utah is because this is where my family is, you know, my parents, but my parents are boomers, so, you know, when their unfortunate passing happens, which, you know, I won't be looking forward to the day, but, you know, it's gonna come for us all, guys. Death comes for us all. When that day comes, you know, I don't know what would keep me in Utah at this point. There's, you know, I'm not really an active Mormon, which is like the big thing here, and I'm not really a big like hiker, nature guy. I've never been like an outdoor guy. I'm very much a homebody. Like, I would literally be completely fine just staying in the house all day. And so, yeah, the theme of the video is he was talking about side hustles, how to make extra money, and by his own definition, I'm actually probably one of the screwed millennials, because I definitely don't have 50,000 in my 401k is what he was saying. If you have that, I don't even have a 401k actually. The only investments that I have is Bitcoin, which, by the way, as this channel grows, I'll probably start putting links for my Bitcoin wallet down there if you guys want to kindly donate. But we're not even close to that point yet. I don't even have a steady audience. But yeah, I don't know. It was just it's a really interesting channel in general, because it's just got me thinking. And the theme of the video, I guess, of what I'm trying to get across in this one is there is a path to wealth, but it's not through the boomer methodology. In fact, a lot of my friends, they still think this way. They still, like, even my brother still thinks this way. Like, I asked him the other day, and he's like, I'm gonna be a millionaire because I'm gonna do all this stuff. It's like, even being a millionaire shouldn't be the goal of most people, especially when you understand how the Fed works. Like, you know, I'm watching Jerome Powell, or the Fed guy, talk about how they're not gonna lower interest rates, which is fine. But at the same time, I'm like watching it like, okay, the gig is up. Like, stop. He's like, oh, we're not lowering interest rates, because they're like acting like they're so fiscally responsible, right? They have the gall to charge me, or they have the gall to give us all a credit score when the government is the biggest, you know, debt runner ever. It's really the taxes. That's the thing that kicks my ass with all this stuff. So you have to think outside the box. You have to think, like, very modestly. I mean, people in the past thought this. It really was like this anomaly of the boomer, where, you know, you're gonna live like a freaking king, and the boomers are still clinging on to this. They're still trying to live in their McMansions and retire, right? Just escape society. It's kind of like they're just telling everyone to F off. Like, I'm gonna go live in you know, this isn't my family, thank goodness, but a lot of boomer families are just kind of like checking out and letting the young figure it out. And so, yeah, you're gonna have to be pretty unorthodox when it comes to this. And I agree, like, there are side hustles you should do, but you should not be out there working yourself to death. I've talked in the past, like, the whole grind set mindset is really cringe to me. Like, this whole, I've done it, by the way. I've done Amway. I've done MLMs. I actually worked for an MLM company for 7 years. So, like, I know that world very well. I've given advice in that world. I have, like, experience in direct sales, in, I don't know what you call it, you know, motivational seminars, motivational conventions. Like, I've worked these things. It's been part of my career over the last 10 years. So I understand the mindset completely, but it's what I've learned over that time is that it really is just BS. Like you're basically expected to, you know, buy all these courses, you know, go out and spend all this money on product, and then you have to like sell the product. It's just Robert Kiyosaki and Donald Trump actually wrote a book called The Business of the 21st Century that I used to hand that book out to people religiously back in my believer days. And you read it again, it's just a nonsense book. I mean, MLMs are not the business of the 21st century. The business of the 21st century is right here. Aaron Clarey wrote a book called Sanity is the Future of Wealth, and I read that several years ago. It's kind of one of the pivotal books. It's a really, really small book, but it was one of the pivotal books that kind of got me thinking about doing something like this in the future, of like where I wanted to take the YouTube channel, because that is essentially what it is. Like you're going to have an uptick in therapists and all this garbage, but really just being based and telling the truth. And I mean, based has become kind of a cliche term, but you guys get what I'm saying. Like just being authentic and being honest about this stupid world we live in, which all this world is it's what are, if you guys have seen the movie Wolf of Wall Street, at the very end, he says, sell me this pen. Like that's literally the world. The world is trying to sell you a pen. Like right now, I'm trying to technically sell you to watch my videos and then hopefully become a subscriber, and, you know, over time become maybe throw me some super chats or something, right? But I'm honest about that. I'm not out here like scheming, like, oh, you guys need to do this and that. And we all have to eat, right? We all have to make money, but this mindset of like we're all going to be millionaires, right? That was something I remember, another cringe moment when I was in Amway, my like direct sponsor. We used to go to all these conventions, and maybe that's what I'll title this video, is just how like financial gurus are cringe or whatever, because they really are. It's got me thinking, like, all this advice that I was given, even the 401k, like investing in a 401k. Again, I'm going to say it because I have to, not financial advice. These are just my biased opinions. But even the concept of a 401k is extremely outdated, because you're essentially putting your money into a stock market that is run by mutual funds and mutual funds and you know, money printing, usury. That's really the big thing to get away. If you guys want to get anything from the Bible, even if you don't believe, just go read about what Christ thought about tax collectors. He basically said tax collectors and prostitutes are like the same level of depravity. So yeah, think unorthodox. I was kind of going on the rant about the gurus, but what I was going to say to you guys, I remember one of the times that I went to these conventions, because I was doing Amway. You had to go to 4 conventions a year, and these conventions would range from like $300 to like $750. I'm not even kidding. This is like before hotels, gas, just like the ticket to get into these stupid events. And they were literally what I'm about to tell you. They were, work harder, bro. Just make sure you're talking to people every day, bro. It was like, that was the message on every one of these things. And the goal was you're supposed to like bring people, you know, to get them into the deal. And then, like I said, I actually worked for a company. That's what we did as well. So, but I remember this one time, like, I'd been doing this for a whole year. I went to 4 conventions. I don't even know how much I spent. It hurts me to think about it. I probably, on just conventions and gas fare and all that alone, I probably spent like $5 to $10 grand in 1 year. It's absolutely insane to think about. But I remember one time I was like, why should we? I finally was getting to the point where I was getting like annoyed, and so I went to my upline or my mentor or whatever you call him, right? And I was like, why are we listening to these people? Like, why don't we just like go out and do our own thing? Why do we need to? And then he said something like, well, that guy owns a $200,000 Lamborghini, so I'm gonna listen to him. And at the time, I remember thinking that was kind of like a cringe response, but there's even more nuance to that, guys. When you see someone driving around a $200,000 Lamborghini, most of the time they don't actually own that car. It's a lease. Like, whenever you see any nice car, that's something to consider as well. Like, right now, I'm in front of me, there's this nice Ford truck. I'll bet you that guy's in debt, or he's got like a crazy $700-800 payment a month. That's one of the biggest things that kills people is car payments. This car I'm driving right now is completely paid off. I pay, I think, like $55 in insurance every month. That's it. And then I fill up gas and I do the typical, maintenance on it. And if this car stopped working, this is a 2007 Impala. If this car stopped working, I would just go out and I'd buy another beater. I'd buy another car. You can get cars for $1,400. Like, it's not that hard. This is just part of the mindset. Like, that's another thing watching this Raymond guy is I guess his audience is giving him a lot of pushback on these things, and I'm watching him thinking like, man, this is like even easier than I thought. Like, I thought it was going to be like impossible to buy like a shack out in the middle of nowhere because of the Indians and all this immigration, right? Like, the news really does have a way of completely blackpilling you, and it works on me. I'm still very aware of what's going on politically, but at the same time, it's like, yeah, there are plenty of places in the country where you can go live for cheap. And will it be like that 10, 20 years from now? Who knows? Who the hell knows at this point? But all I know is that at this exact moment in the current year of our Lord 2025, it is still possible to live, below your means. That's another thing he talks about a lot too. And technically I'm one of these people, but almost every millennial has some form of student loan payment. Mine is extremely low. I'm not even paying it because it's I can't remember what it's called. It's like an unsubsidized Stafford loan, so it doesn't accrue interest. While it's been in like a weird deferment. I don't know what happened with COVID. They put it in some kind of weird forbearance, but it's over 10 years old, so it just like accrues no interest. It hasn't accrued interest since like 2017. So I'm gonna pay that off. It's a very low loan. It's like $10,000. And I'm gonna pay that off. Probably that'll be like one of the first things I do when I get work is just get rid of that, because Trump's already talked about he's gonna start having people try to collect on it. So I'm just gonna get rid of it. I thought maybe that Biden was gonna forgive it, but whatever. I was just waiting for that. I was like, if he's gonna forgive it, why the hell am I gonna pay it? Like, this entire society is just bullshit at this point. So, but I got no problem paying it, is the point I'm getting at. But there's a lot of millennials that the average student loan debt is like $40,000. That's payable. And then if you have it like over $100,000, like, what the hell are you doing? I don't know. Like, a lot of millennials are just slaves because they can't stop taking out debt. That's what I've learned, student loan or otherwise. So I'm kind of rambling at this point, but I hope you guys get what I'm saying, is that living below your means is completely possible, even if you have to move in with family, right? Like, just do whatever it takes to lower your cost of living. And you'll be able to like wake up every day and like walk, just go outside and take a walk and just breathe. It's very I don't know how to explain it to people that don't have like time at all, but it's very freeing to just know that you can kind of pick and choose whether you do certain things or not in the day, like, right? Like, you work because you want to, not because you have to. Because I don't know, life is not about, there are certain bills you have to pay, obviously, if you have like property. You have to pay like electric and things. But life is not really about just paying off debt endlessly. The only real debt you should have is a mortgage. It's really that simple. Or if you have like crazy health problems, I get it. People have to go to the hospital. But I don't even go to doctors anymore, to be honest, for a lot of things. Like, there's no point in going to doctors for, again, not advice. I have to say these disclaimers. This is not medical advice, but you don't even need to go, because you could just Google a lot of things, and like, unless you're like dying, you have like a heart attack or something, just eat better. Like diet, that's a huge one. If you just stop eating crap all day. You know, I still struggle with these, but you know, these energy drinks, but you know, I've switched to sugar-free at least, and I limit it to one a day. Sue me, it's my one of my biggest vices is caffeine. It probably always will be till the day I die. But yeah, that's kind of the video, guys. I'm gonna wrap this one up. A little bit more rambly, but the takeaway here is that you can live below your means. That's going to be the real message going forward, is that screw all the millionaire talk, screw all the rich talk. You know, if you're a Zoomer or a young guy, marry the girl, okay? If you're dating a girl right now and you're really young, I see this at my gym all the time that I go to. These young guys with these really pretty girls that are, and I'm just thinking like, I just literally want to go up to them and just be like, just get married. Just do it now. Start your family now. Don't listen to any of the BS. Do not go to college. Do not wait, because these are all regrets that I have, because, you know, millennials, we got screwed when it came to that. All the bad advice that millennials were given, you guys can learn from that. Don't go to college. Don't go into debt. You know, marry the girl. Just do it. You know, don't believe the propaganda of like, oh, it's so hard to have a family. Like, that's all bullshit. Just marry the girl and start your life. You know, only go to school if you got like a plan. If you got like a serious plan, like you're gonna be like a bookkeeper or an accountant, something like that, or like a lawyer. I don't know, something that's guaranteed to pay you dividends in the end. But other than that, just don't waste time is kind of my takeaway. Like, I'm 37 now. I've wasted a lot of time in my life, and I don't know if I'm ever going to have the things that I wanted, which are pretty low now, but you know, I'm going to be 50 in 13 years. So it's just something to consider, is that the older you get, right, there's no, that's something the millennials were told that was a complete lie. It's like, oh, you can make up for it in your 30s, right? But you get in these habits, these mindsets in your 20s, where if you don't actively change the way that, then it doesn't really change as you get old. In fact, it just gets worse. That's one of my biggest struggles as I get older, is that like the ways that I'm set in are like really hard to break. And I always think like, if I would have just done certain things sooner, this wouldn't be so difficult. But it's like, eventually you're gonna have to do a lot of this stuff anyway, so you might as well just try to do it. And you know, I know all the stats with women. I've made videos about women. I understand how difficult it is with women, but like I said, if you're young, especially if you're religious, like, go to church. Don't listen to the stupid media on that either. Go to church, marry the girl, just make money. You know, don't worry about buying a new house. Like, look for a cheap house. You know, don't live in the city too. I didn't even bring that up. Do not avoid cities like the Black Plague. In fact, all these I've made videos about. This is kind of like a catharsis video where I'm just kind of putting it all together. And who knows where this channel will go forward with a lot of things. I'll probably still talk about random things, but I kind of want to build a community here, and maybe like have young guys and older guys consult each other, like really help each other through these times, because that's another thing. Hard times are coming, Donald Trump or not, right? You can't blame Trump for everything, because I mean, what is he gonna do? He comes in, to this, right? Like, he allowed 2020 to happen, but it's like this system has been set up to fail since like the 1970s, right? Reagan was kind of the last, like, let's try to fix it, but he didn't do anything to fix it. And then it's just been nothing but offshoring since then. Like that, you know, Bill Clinton was a big president that sent a whole bunch of our jobs overseas. So Trump, it seems like he's trying to bring this back, but it's going to take a lot of time. So the decline is going to hit. The decline is going to be real. You know, reach out to guys. Things like this is the future. You got to start creating communities of some sort, and, you know, meet in person. That's my goal. When I start making money, I'm going to start going and trying to meet some people in person that I've met online, and, you know, try to build connections that way, because that's all it is at the end of the day, guys. Like, you need some kind of community in your life, and a lot of it's being built online, you know, even in your local community, right? I am in Utah, and I'm pretty blessed in this neighborhood that it's a very, like, safe, very low crime neighborhood. But, you know, like, I don't really, a lot of these people now here, you know, I don't necessarily know them, because my parents moved here in like the early 90s. It's a completely different, this entire town is like huge now compared to when I was a kid. So anyway, I'm done rambling. That is the video. I didn't say it, but this is the Jigsaw 0097 channel. My name is Joey. If you guys like these videos, please consider subscribing. I would very much appreciate it. I'm trying to push to 1,000. I feel like if I'm really close to 1,000 subs, if I can get to 1,000, I think I'll gain a little bit of momentum, and it'll go forward from there. So yeah, like and comment, subscribe. I really appreciate it. But with all that said, guys, I will talk to you later.